Hi, everybody. I am joined by one of my favorite people, Sara VanderGoot. She has been a really big part of my health journey, and there's so much to learn from her. I'm very excited that she's here today. Um, Sara has a lot of different qualifications under the health and wellness umbrella. So before we dive into our topic for today, would you mind just sharing a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. Okay. So I originally shifted into the wellness field after having gone to law school. So I just want to start with that to say I
Hmm.
made a really big shift and
Hmm.
from a world where there's a lot of conflict and um, kind of stress
Yeah,
and to a world of trying to help people reduce that stress and find ways to communicate and live that are more harmonious. Um,
that's beautiful.
yeah. So I began that journey by going to massage therapy school. So I'm a certified
Hmm.
massage therapist, and I've been a certified massage therapist for about 20 years now. Uh,
Hmm.
my specialty is working with pregnant women and women post pregnancy at this point.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm also a doula. I've been a doula
Hmm.
for about 10 years, um, between 7 and 10 years, and
Hmm.
a birth doula. So I assist births, home births, hospital births, birthing center births. And then I am primarily a yoga studio owner, and well, yoga and Pilates, but my business partner does the Pilates half, and I do the yoga
Hmm.
half. And so I've been doing that for 13 years, and I train teachers in both regular yoga class, how to teach regular yoga classes, but also prenatal and post pregnancy classes. And then I teach my own regular classes and my own prenatal and post pregnancy classes. And I'm registered, I'm an experienced 500-hour yoga teacher, which is kind of like
Hmm.
at this point, kind of the highest certification you can get in the yoga
Okay,
world. Yeah.
cool. Oh
Oh,
my gosh. Well, I can attest for you as a doula, as a regular yoga instructor, a prenatal and postnatal, and as a massage therapist. And you're amazing.
thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome. Um, our topic for today is why yoga is good for stress management. But before we get there, would you mind explaining what yoga is?
Yes. So the word yoga is a Sanskrit word and it means union. Um, but for me, as I've gone through the journey of yoga, what I think it means and what I teach in teacher training is that it means integration.
Oh,
So
okay.
yoga has 8 limbs. The asana or the physical yoga practice is one of those limbs. So if you imagine the
Okay.
yoga, there's 8 limbs. The asana part is
Okay.
one. And yoga is really bringing all parts of your life together so that you live, you know, that you're living kind of holistically through your values in every area of your life. So yoga to
Mhm.
me means integration.
That is amazing. I really like that like visual for it. I know that it can feel really overwhelming. Like if you were to imagine each branch as a separate part of your life and that you're doing so many different things, but if you're able to kind of connect it like, oh no, this is all my one life and this is all my one body. I like the holistic approach.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Um, why is yoga a good option for people with high stress?
That's really great question. So the physical practice of yoga, like you would take a class at a yoga studio, like my studio called Mind the Mat,
Mhm.
Pilates and Yoga, is good because so it incorporates not just fitness, but
Mhm.
awareness that when we're moving our body, um, we're also kind of observing our mind, like what the
Mhm.
mind kind of says, oh, this is too hard, I want to give up, or the mind says, I don't want to get on my mat, I'm too busy or whatever. So yoga incorporates that observation of the mind.
Mhm.
And then also yoga recognizes, and this is why yoga isn't so integrating. It means integration, because it
Mhm.
also recognizes that we carry emotion and stress in our body,
Mhm.
so that when we start
Yes.
to move, that energy starts to move in through us,
Mhm.
that stress, and we start to release it, right? Or
Yes.
look at it at least. And
Mhm.
um, and so yoga can help us really observe the mind and observe
Mhm.
the stress that we're holding in our body and
Yeah.
work with it. And
Yes.
right. So the first step is
Mhm.
kind of recognizing it and observing it and then working with it. And
Mhm.
and I'm just going to kind of stick with the kind of the physical practice, which incorporates breath,
Yeah.
meditation, and movement. Um,
Mhm.
that's why it's so powerful, is because we can become an observer and start to work with our stress.
Yes. The self-awareness helped me so much. You know, just becoming aware of my breathing was probably the first and biggest thing. Just, I think that I never thought about it. It just happened. And I never thought, am I breathing deeply? Am I breathing correctly? And that was the most powerful thing for me. And then going forward, learning how to be more self aware, and also whether you can find this in a slow flow class or a power flow class, discomfort, whether it's, from slow flow, like, or something similar, just a slower class. It might be uncomfortable for somebody to be still with themselves and silent with themselves for that long, or power flow, that's challenging in a different way. So wherever you are, you might be a little bit uncomfortable because it is supposed to be strengthening you. um, I found that noticing that, being able to notice that, and then come back to my breath, made it made me progress in yoga, but also in my life. Just being able to notice something, come back to my breath, and continue through whatever the situation is.
Yes.
Um,
What you said
on
is,
that same, sorry, go ahead.
it's just what you said is so powerful, because the muscle that we're working the most in yoga is our
Hmm.
ability to hold space for ourselves in whatever arises. And as we practice
Yeah.
kind of sitting with our stress or our obsessive thinking, or our this pain that I feel in my back or whatever,
Hmm.
we continue to do that, on
Hmm.
a, a regular basis, we
Hmm.
expand our ability to sit with our discomfort. And that
Absolutely.
is really powerful. It's not always about getting rid of the discomfort, it's like
Hmm.
expanding our ability to be with. And also, then
Yes. Yeah,
a lot of the times the discomfort kind of fades too in that
it
process.
does.
So, yeah.
Yes, definitely. That's a good thing to note. Um, so, kind of along that same note, do you have any experience in your personal life or from somebody that you know that you want to share about how yoga really impacted their stress management?
So many, I could give you so many stories of clients
Yeah.
I've worked with. Um, I would say, what I'll say is I definitely have my own experience of being able to, like, the practice of yoga has helped me expand my ability to sit with discomfort. I'm a
Hmm.
really deeply sensitive and empathic person, and sometimes
Hmm.
that's very painful in this world. So
Yeah.
yoga, and what I would say in my 20s, that was just excruciating for me. But at this
Mm.
point in my life, I've learned how to sit with it
Hmm.
and have
Yeah.
compassion for myself and others. And that has been like just fundamental for my wellness.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes.
I will also say, with the prenatal mamas, something
Hmm.
that I see continuously is, especially first time mamas, there's a lot of anxiety around what's birth going to be, what are my choices? Am I in charge of my own birth? and giving them a space to, can I do this, right? Giving them a space to kind of be able to just name their fears. I have seen such amazing transformations in the way that they then feel like they can approach their birth from a place of feeling empowered. Because the truth is, most of the time, no one in their life is going to ask them, like, what are your fears? Right? And they're going through enormous life change, not just the labor and delivery process, which in itself is intense, but a whole shift in their life into parenthood, and just name it, right? And then be with it and be in their body and in their breath and start feeling good about their body. I feel it has been, that's a one population that I've seen just really enormous benefits.
Yes. I had those same benefits going through prenatal and postnatal classes with you again and again. And I think that that is a really good thing to note as well, about nobody gives you the space to name your fears, really. And you're most likely not going to do it by yourself. Just sit down and think, okay, so what are my goals? What are my fears? What do I need to change? And that's where coaches come in handy, because they will force you to sit with those questions. They give you transformation. And I had that same experience in your prenatal and postnatal classes. I really appreciated that it was so holistic. I didn't just, originally, I was going to look for a class that I knew was safe for pregnancy. And that's all that I was expecting. And that's all that I really wanted at the time. But I gained so much more out of it, just from community and knowledge of breathing and birth and amazing community. It was, and a lot of comfort being around people in the same boat. You know, you can say, why is this happening? Does this happen to you? And especially with the postnatal, being there with your newborn, everything is like, is this okay? Is this normal? Being in an extremely nurturing environment was very powerful and definitely eased my stress, because there's a lot of it around at that time.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. And when you, in some of your situations, you already had children, so that be another factor.
Yes.
Stressful.
Yeah. And you might think that, okay, you know, I've been through it once or twice even. But each one is so different. And I think you really do need that support, or at least for me, I really needed that support every single time. I really miss those classes.
I know.
But speaking of classes, what types of classes would be best for somebody who's looking to manage their stress? Obviously, if you're pre or postnatal, you have options for that, and that would be the first place to start. But for somebody else who's not in that boat, where to start?
Great question. So you're teaching the 6-week series for kind of like mindful, you know, focusing sort of on mindful eating, but stress is a huge part, as you know, of why we choose to eat what we eat.
Yeah, so, that'll be part of it.
Laura's 6-week series, when does it start, or did it start?
No, it starts on the Sunday, January 10th.
January 10th. Okay, so that is the type of thing that I would definitely recommend. What we do at Mind the Mat that's a little different than other studios is we do the general yoga and Pilates classes, but we really, because of my background as a massage therapist and my partner's background as a doctor of physical therapy, we like to give specialized classes, like we were talking about, like prenatal classes, post-pregnancy classes, specialized workshops and series like Laura's for stress management and eating. We have a therapeutic yoga, different series taught by a therapeutic yoga teacher, which is a different training than other yoga teachers. So if people are, you know, and therapeutic yoga encompasses stress and anxiety. especially stress and anxiety around body, or if there's limitations in your body, if you have an injury, if you have chronic disease. And a lot of people with chronic diseases are dealing with stress, and that it's more and more common. So definitely our 6-week therapeutic yoga series, which are ongoing. And then in terms of definitely our meditation classes, we give a 15-minute meditation Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on our Facebook Live. That is a great way to start the day and really center before you move into the day. And just connecting with other people too, I think can really help us feel less stressed. And then I would say for the general yoga classes, what's interesting is it depends on the person. So some of us need that really like vigorous, we need to get out this kind of bubbling energy that we have in order to come down and then relax. So if that kind of person, I would say try a power yoga class with us. I'm not that kind, right? I do enjoy a power workout, but more than that, I need a lot of grounding and calm. And I could go into this more. It has to do with Ayurveda and what's your constitutional body type, but that's for another conversation.
I know.
So people like that who are like generally kind of like anxious or scattered, I would say like a gentle yoga class, a slow flow yoga class. Those are slow flow is not an easy class. It's holding, breathing through discomfort, right? But it's slow. And so it's very grounding. So I would say for depending on what your kind of your proclivity is, either that power yoga that gets that out energy out and then brings you down into a nice relaxation, or just gentle yoga, which is very gentle and soothing. Or if you want like a pretty vigorous hard workout but a calm steady one, just slow.
And I think that will also change within just that individual's experience in lifetime. I started out with, well, if I'm going to allot time for exercise, it has to be power flow because I need to just build my strength. And I had a lot of energy and it felt great. And I still love power flow, but it did give me the ability to bring it down a notch, bring it down another notch. And now I realize, what I actually need, what I thought I needed was power flow. And what I actually needed was something more grounding. I needed a slow flow or a gentle yoga. But that changes during different periods of your life as well, or even just day to day. And now I'm thinking, now I need to incorporate some more Pilates. I've only done a little bit. So I'm going to talk to Megan about that as well. But even the power flow. So if you are like, I still need to be getting like a really hard workout and I only have a small amount of time, I'm going to try that. It's still a really good option because it's not going to bring your cortisol up so much the way that maybe a HIIT workout would. And those are fun and they're great. But if you're already dealing with high stress, maybe working to strengthen your body in a more mindful, slower way could be a healthier option.
And with so much focus, even in the power yoga classes, with so much focus on breath, deep breathing, right? That in itself is very calming for the central nervous system, even if it's a power class, right? And then you get that, unlike a HIIT class, you get that shavasana, that relaxation at the end, always. Your nervous calming. And
people don't skip shavasana.
Oh, you don't. It's the most important.
It really is.
And how you said it will change throughout people's lifetimes. It also is for women changes with our cycle. So
good point.
The first 2 weeks after menstruation, it's great for us to do power yoga and even like HIIT classes, right? But in we go after ovulation, the 2 weeks, the the week before menstruation and the week of menstruation, you know, it isn't good for us to do that. It actually will kind of inflame our fight or flight response. And so we actually, you know, those 2 weeks want to do something more grounded and more calming. And in fact, it will activate our adrenals in a way that will actually be counterproductive, because we'll gain weight if we do like too much like HIIT or power in the week before menstruation or during menstruation. So that's something to keep in mind. It can be counterproductive.
Yeah, that's really good to know. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share before we hop off?
I think that's it. Just maybe if, you know, people are interested in Mind the Mat classes, our website is mindthemat.com. And right now we're doing virtual classes on Facebook Live and Zoom. And then we're also going to start doing the Mind Body digital option that we're launching within the next couple weeks. And then we do some still outdoor classes, which will ramp up as the weather gets warmer, but we do still do some. We're starting January 15. We're going to continue doing very small in-person classes, like 4 students in a class.
Cool.
So, with all the safety precautions that COVID.
Yes. So. Of course. Yeah, I've seen it all in place there. It looks really great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Laura, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for asking me to come on and do this.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Okay. I'll see you soon. Have a great day.
See you. Bye.
Bye.